Hello everyone, it's teacher Yolanda here, and today is our story fun session. For that, we're going to need our story fun and also our art notebook. Please get your materials, let's start. Today, we're going to read the next story. The title of the story is Robert's Envelopes. It's story number 5, Robert's Envelopes. And it's page 36 of the story fun. Again, page 36 of the story fun. Now let's open our story fun at story 5 at page 36. The title is Robert's Envelopes.
Student's Book, page 36. 5. Robert's Envelopes.
Robert lived in a flat in a tall grey building in the city centre. From his window, he could only see other enormous skyscrapers, lots of taxis and other noisy traffic in the busy streets, and far away, the motorway. Sometimes this made Robert feel unhappy. He liked watching television programs about exploring countries where there were waterfalls, lakes, or wonderful beaches. His favorite stories were about sailing across the ocean to have adventures with people who lived on amazing islands or in other unusual and exciting places.
Why must we live in the middle of a city?
He asked his mother.
Because my job at the hospital is here, Robert. But perhaps we can have a quiet holiday somewhere in the countryside next summer. Would you like that?
Oh, yes.
Robert laughed. After Robert put on his pajamas and got into bed that night, he thought about going on holiday. But then he remembered something. Last year, his mother said the same thing. But they spent the summer at home, in the city again, because they didn't have enough money to buy tickets or to stay in hotels.
Oh, well.
He thought.
One day, perhaps.
On the school bus the next morning, Robert looked through the window and saw a boat on the river.
I'd like to travel down the river on a boat, or across the sea on a huge ship one day, perhaps,
he thought. Then he saw a train on a bridge near the city station.
I'd like to go over a high bridge on a fast train one day, too,
he thought. Then he looked up into the sky and saw a plane.
Oh, I'd like to fly on a plane one day as well. I could look out of its windows at the woods and mountains below,
he thought. When school finished, Robert didn't want to go home by bus. He decided to walk. He walked past the shoe factory, the chemist's, and then past the police station and around the corner at the bottom of the hill. But after he walked past the sports stadium too, he began to feel tired, so he sat down for a minute on the low wall outside the post office. Then, a strange thing happened. A black and white bird flew down from the sky and dropped an envelope between Robert's feet, and then flew away again. Robert picked it up. On the front of the envelope, it said, "Read me." So Robert did. Robert opened the envelope. There was some writing on a blue piece of paper inside. Robert read it very carefully. If you find this message, go and look in your biggest, oldest book. Robert couldn't understand the message, so he put it in his pocket, and when he got home, he read it again.
In your biggest, oldest book. What does that mean?
Robert decided to try something. He got a chair from the kitchen and carried it into the living room and stood on it. Their biggest and oldest book was on the top shelf of the bookcase. It was really heavy. When Robert opened the book, a thin envelope fell out. Inside the envelope was a strange card. It looked really old. When Robert opened it, he saw lots of numbers inside. Robert jumped off the chair and went to show the card to his mother.
What's this, Mom?
He asked.
It's the kind of card that banks wrote in a long time ago,
She said.
This person was rich. They saved lots of money. Oh, look! There's a name on the front. Helen Bird. This is amazing. That was my grandmother's name. We must go to the bank tomorrow and show this to Mr. Flagg.
When Mr. Flagg saw the card the next day, he picked up his telephone and spoke to someone in an excited kind of way. He had a big smile on his face.
Well,
He said to Robert's mother when he finished talking on the phone.
you must thank your son for finding this. Your grandmother left all this money in our bank for you a long time ago, but we didn't know that until now. What would you like to buy with it?
Robert's mother smiled too.
Something that Robert wants very much.
When Robert came home from school later that afternoon, he found a bigger envelope on the kitchen table.
Open it if you want.
His mother said. Inside the envelope, there were 2 plane tickets, and 2 train tickets, and 2 boat tickets.
Mr. Flagg says we've got enough money now. We can have a really great holiday.
Because of your grandmother's little bank card?
Robert asked.
Yes.
His mother said. Robert looked out of the window at the beautiful sky. He couldn't see the black and white bird high in the clouds, but he knew it was there.
And all because of the big black and white bird.
Robert smiled.
What do you mean?
His mother asked.
That's my special secret.
Robert answered.
Now, at page 40 of the story, it says Robert's envelopes. Exercise A. Read and complete the words. Here we have some definitions and here we have to complete with the words. Remember, all of the words we saw yesterday, so maybe if you need it, you can watch yesterday's videos again. Number 1 says, people often go up to the top floor of this in a lift because it's so high. That is a skyscraper. Number 2. This is a word for all the cars, lorries and buses that travel on our roads. It starts with a T. 3. People can travel very quickly between cities on this kind of road. What kind of road is very fast? For driving very fast. And between cities. Number 4. Doctors work here and people who are ill might stay here. Starts with an H. This has rooms in it for people to sleep in when they are on holiday. Again, when they are on holiday, you stay in a 6. You can walk or drive over a river on these and not get your feet wet. Okay? Letter B. Read and answer the questions. Write 2 or 3 words. Please don't write more than 3 words. Where does Robert live? In a flat. And how do you know that? Well, you have to read the story again. Number 2. Where did Robert stay last summer? 3. What color was the bird that dropped the letter? 4. Whose name was on the front of the old card? 5. Who did Robert's mom show the card to at the bank? After that, remember in the story you're going to put the letters in the correct order. At page 41, exercise D, it says, what does Robert want to do? Tick the correct boxes. One day, perhaps. What's the meaning of perhaps? Maybe. One day, perhaps, and tick the boxes according to what you read in the story. In exercise E, it says, complete the sentences with your own words. These answers may vary, so just read these and complete it according to your idea. In our class today, we're going to look at these and you're going to tell me some of the differences that you can observe. Start paying attention to the illustration so you can participate later on in the class. In this page, exercise G says, complete the story with your own words. Now it says, a message for Katie. Katie sat down for a minute on a yellow seat. Again, this is individually and we're going to check and compare our versions later in our conversation. Okay? Now, in exercise H, it says, listen and draw lines. There is one example, kids. Please take different colors and draw the lines as straight as possible.
Book, page 42. H. Listen and draw lines.
Do you know these people here?
Yes, Grandpa. I know the woman in the post office. You can see her through the window, but it's quite difficult.
Yes, it is. What's her name?
She's called Holly.
Oh, well, she looks busy.
Can you see the line? This is an example. Now you listen and draw lines.
If you want, we can buy some bread from this shop.
Okay. Oh, look! There's a large brown bird. It's carrying one of these letters.
Yes, it's funny, isn't it? I know that bird. It's called George.
Really?
Yes. That girl is a friend of my sister's. She's wearing her new helmet. Look.
Yes. Where's she cycling to?
I don't know, but her name's Katie.
That's a pretty name. And who's that?
The man in the bread shop?
No, the other one. The one with a baseball cap on his head.
Oh, that's Frank. He's driving to the hospital, I think. He works there.
I might know that person. Is her name Sophia?
The woman in the blue coat? No, she's called Betty.
Oh, I'm usually good at remembering names.
Are you? I'm not. And there's Robert. He's sitting on that low wall.
Why is he doing that?
Perhaps he's tired.
And are there letters in all these envelopes? There are lots here.
This is the last page of exercises. In exercise I, it says find the opposite words in the story. So again, the opposite words are in the story and also in the vocabulary. Small, the opposite is big, terrible, poor, quiet, boring, huge, happy, high, ugly. The opposites are in the story. In the last exercise, exercise J, it says look and read and choose the correct words. Here are the correct words. You just have to choose the best option that goes in the line. Let's start reading. Hi, we're having a great, greater, greatest time. What is the correct one? We're having a great time. Yes. So you're going to continue reading the text and you're going to choose the correct answer for each line from numbers 1 to 10. Last but not least, remember we have a Zoom class to check all of these, and also we have an art notebook activity. It is described in the PDF file of today. Please do your drawing and do it very beautifully so you can share it on the webcam to all of your friends in the class. So see you in a few minutes. Bye!